So, Keir, define working class.
No, working class is families that work for their living, earn their money through going out to work every day, not through other
Not
means.
middle classes do that?
Well, working class families have the ordinary hope to get on in life. I mean, this has been
Don't
the story.
middle classes have that
Yeah,
as
of course
well?
they do. Of course they do.
So what's
But
the distinction?
People will say to me, "Well, look here. You've come a long way.
Yeah, but you went to state school.
Yeah, but that is the ordinary hope of the working class, which is to have a decent education, to get a decent, secure job, to get a car, to get have a nice holiday, to have a
Isn't
house.
that the middle class too, Sir Keir? Everything you just listed? No?
Keir Starmer has personally accepted just under £43,000 in personal gratuities. That's things like football tickets, trips to holidays in Wales, staying at luxury hotels, getting tickets to go watch the races. Let's put this in perspective. This is more money accepted in gratuities than all Labour leaders since Tony Blair combined.
We're letting Keir Starmers know, we're letting the politicians know that we've had enough. Evil would like to take this country over and create it into a form of Sodom and Gomorrah. Good wants to fight for goodness, righteousness, and honest people. The families being ripped apart in this country. We need mothers, we need fathers, we need stable families with children being brought up properly. And forget this woke nonsense that we've got at the moment. That's my passion, is to see people who are free to speak. They can believe what they want, but in the end, it comes down to what authority has the right to stop me from speaking.
Let's not forget, this country is becoming crazy. Over the last few years, we've had a number of weird decisions. For example, Thanet District Council said that the Labour Control Council started to fine people and give penalty notices, £100, by the way, for swearing in the streets, for using bad language. I mean, what? Again, this has gone away from just inciting violence. And then the next level was, well, if you say something that somebody could perceive it as hateful, and that could be considered as violence, we could come for you. And then the next level was, what you say is legal, but could be emotionally harmful. Some people could get offended. That was the next level. And then just swearing on the streets, you could get arrested. Obviously, that happened in Thanet, as we've seen before. And now, if you just stand in the corner and observe the protests, you're going to get life, apparently. Allegedly. It's insane.
Now, there's been a lot of discussion about whether we have a two-tier policing system in the UK, but we also need to look at whether we have a two-tier justice system. David Spring, a 61-year-old retired train driver, was jailed for 18 months for making threatening gestures to police and chanting, "Who the F is Allah?" During an anti-immigration protest on Whitehall on the 31st of July, one that I was at, and was momentarily arrested myself as a journalist. Now, crude as such slogan may be, it is not an illegal thing to say, and there is no suggestion that Mr. Spring himself was actually violent. Nevertheless, the judge chose not to suspend the sentence, and instead sent him straight to jail. He added, "Whitehall seen many crude statements and actions in recent months. In October last year, a Muslim man was filmed screaming, 'God's curse be upon the infidels,' while waving a jihadist flag around. There was no charge or arrest, let alone a jail sentence for that incident, and in February, another incident that I was attending that I actually filmed. The genocidal slogan, 'From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free,' was projected onto Parliament. No charge, no arrest, no sentence, no drama. That one, it seems, was permissible."
We've got children and women using those trains, destroying some relatives. They are disgusting, nasty bastards, and we need to cut the roads and get rid of them all. I just want to say thank you all. I'm going to leave it now. And free Palestine! Free Palestine!
The other extremist groups like the Muslim Brotherhood, who are friends with the IRGC and Hezbollah people, they cannot operate in Bahrain, in Oman. These are Muslim countries. Where do they operate? In London, in France, in Washington, D.C., in Australia, in Canada, Toronto. They operate here. They have bank accounts. They register charity. Right. So Macron, the president of France, recently said the Islamic world is in a crisis. In my opinion, yeah, we do have problems. We do have Boko Haram, we have Al-Qaeda, we have Taliban, we have problems. But you went to the Muslim countries and you imported the garbage that the Muslim countries wanted to put in prison or isolate away from society. You went and you imported them. Why? For cheap labor. But these Islamist extremists, they don't want to work. They want free welfare. They want to marry French women, blonde hair, blue eyes. They don't have time to work. So look at Poland. They don't complain from Islamic extremism, not a single terrorist attack in Poland. The moment they sense there's a problem, they crack down on it. Polish policy, beautiful. The French, no, come. When they come, they use the resources. They go to Washington, D.C., and they sit in Congress. They support the Iranian regime. They go against the sanctions in Congress, right, with their hijab. Why? Because the ideology is filth to begin with. When you import that, or you allow it in, or you amplify it, or you glorify it in any way, you make your bed, sleep in it.
I am Muslim, but I am against Islamism, save Britain from Islamism, fascism and terrorism. The people of Britain, they had enough. They are not going to let these fascist, terrorist, Islamists impose their ideology to our children. If you come from other country here, you have to integrate here. You have to accept the culture. You cannot come here and stand against this culture and blatantly shouting, we are coming to take over. They are proud of having 6, 7 children and our government paying for their children. We have to shut down our border for at least 7 to 10 years and clean the country from inside, from this fascism, from this Islamism. I am saying this as a Muslim.
We have Sharia law on British streets. We have sectarian everything. Halal meals in schools now.
And when I say British, I don't just mean white British. We have black British.
All British.
We have brown British. We have yellow British. All British people, regardless of race, skin, colour, religion and whatever, as long as they're here in Britain and they adhere to the way that we want to live.
Our culture.
Our culture. Our
They're
traditional.
coming into this country, they should accept our culture.
Our traditional culture.
And
I lived abroad, I lived in Saudi Arabia, and I had to adhere to their laws. So I would expect that at a minimum that they adhere to ours. Not just our laws, but our customs, our ways of life, our beliefs, our values, our attitudes. If the politicians don't address it, this is just the beginning of what's going to happen, because we've had enough.
The government that's installed are not acting in the best interest of the people. They're not even listening to what the people want. So I want to know what can be done about that, because it seems like you can't vote your way out of it. Whoever comes into power, they just operate under the same agenda, it feels like. So the people don't have a voice. So I feel like this is the best chance that people have at having a voice, is coming to a gathering like this. But I'm still not really seeing what can be done about it. No one's talking about that. You know? I've already seen this film. I want to know what can be done. That's why I'm here.
Today's protest is about everyone's dissatisfaction with how we're being governed, to be honest. People are just fed up with not having a voice. I know there's a lot of people say that this is a racist thing and all that kind of thing, but I don't see that. I just see ordinary people who are just fed up and don't seem to have a voice.
We're tired of all of the segregation, we're tired of Rotherham, we're tired of all of these individuals, you know, the religion of taking a piss. We're sick and tired of all of that rubbish. Okay, this is England. I grew up here, my great uncle fought for this country, my grandmother fought for this country. We're not having a bar of it. So at the end of the day, it's all about putting us all together as one common people and getting rid of the vermin, whoever they are, whatever shape they take, get out. This country has suffered too. So at the end of the day, people need to wind their necks in and just behave themselves. We don't want any more division. We don't want to hear any more of this, like people like molesting children. We don't, all of this, shut the borders, simple.
What's going on in Bradford, what's going on in Huddersfield. Tommy was talking about the stuff a lot. Is that a reality? In my eyes, it is. I know a lot of people there, and don't get me wrong, I'm not against any nations. There's a lot of good people within any nation. We're talking about the small group of the people that doesn't want to be part of it. You come to this country, you accept it as it is, you understand it first, and when you get your head around it, then you can contribute. But you can't walk in and say, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like the religion, I don't like the behaviors. You don't like it, you know the way out. I mean, the same way you came in. And this applies to me as well.
The radical Marxist left and the sympathizers of the radical Islamic terror, who Democrats have imported from all over the world, have united around their hatred of America and their hatred for Israel. They have hatred. The toxic poison of anti-Semitism now courses through the veins of radical Democrat Party. I mean, this is a radical group of people. I never thought I'd see that either. They have gone crazy. And instead of expunging this hatred, Kamala Harris is pandering to it. He wouldn't even meet Bibi. He wouldn't talk to him, didn't want to talk to him, didn't want to mention when they finally were forced to meet. She wouldn't be there. She wouldn't be in Congress. And they were forced to meet. It was like she couldn't stay. She just wanted to get out of the room. You can't have that. She'll let it go. She'll let Israel go. But Kamala Harris will support unlimited migration from terrorist hotbeds into the United States. When I'm president, we will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers, and we will deport them very quickly, and Hamas supporters will be gone.